Welcome to the Arsenal versus Newcastle pre-match hangout here on Arsenal Fan TV. You are with the Global Gooners, Moran Mohammadi, Jack McDonald. And to say this is an important match is quite an understatement. Jack, how influential is this match for Arsenal at this point in time?
You know what? Going into that busy Christmas period, Moran, especially the big match against Liverpool next week, being at home today against Newcastle, we really need to go out there, get the 3 points, get the job done. You want to give us some lineup news, Moran?
Yeah, and quite a lineup we got today. The lineup today, of course, Chesney in goal, a back four of Kieran Gibbs, Per Mertesacker, uh, ex-Newcastle player Matthew Debuchy at center back, with Hector Bellerin at right back completing the back four. A midfield of Matthew Flamini, Sani Cazorla, and by the looks of things, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and then a front three of Danny Welbeck, Olivier Giroud, and Alexis Sanchez. And going to the bench, quite intriguing, quite different. The subs today are Lucas Podolski, Yaya Sanogo, Emiliano Martinez, Joel Campbell, the recalled Francis Coquelin, who was recalled this past week by Arsene Wenger due to the injury sustained by Aaron Ramsey, youngsters Semi Ajayi and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Jack, what does that bench tell you about the injuries that have struck Arsenal?
Oh, well, we're running on pretty thin ice right now, but the bench, obviously we want to see some improvements in the squad depth, but going back to the starting lineup, Moran, I really like it. I think you said it was 4-3-3. I think it's more of a 4-4-2 with Danny and Giroud up top. And then if I had my choice, I'd actually put obviously Sanchez on the right. I'd put Cazorla on the left because I want Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in that middle of the pitch. I want him stamping his authority on the game today. I think he was one of our best players midweek. The way he can penetrate the defense, his dribbling ability, his speed, strength. I think he's a complete player, and I want to see him really take over this game, be that player we need in that midfield, supporting Flamini. Flamini is basically in the lineup by default just because of all the injuries we have. And I want Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to go on and win us this game today.
And what do you make of the back four? We got Debuchy at center back. He just returned from injury. Being thrust into an. I don't recall memory of Debuchy ever playing center back since I've seen him play. So what do you make of Debuchy trying to settle in a position he's not really used to?
Well, just like the rest of the season, Rand, we're constantly having a makeshift back four, and I guess it's Debuchy's turn to play out of position. He should take some notes from Nacho Monreal, but that's just the way it is. Hector Bellerin, he looked pretty promising midweek. You know what? He's played in some difficult situations already this season, playing away at Dortmund, playing away at Fenerbahce. I think he'll be just fine on that right with his speed. Kieran Gibbs, usually a very consistent player. And once again, Moran, we're both going to be looking for Mertesacker to be that leader of that back four. We've always talked before games midweek about how Mertesacker needs to negate deficiencies in the back four. You're a big believer in that. What do you want to see from Per Mertesacker?
Really, I need him to take authority. Really, no Koscielny in the lineup. Usually, Per Mertesacker's at his utmost best when he's got Koscielny beside him, but now he doesn't. He's got Debuchy, and we need him to be a top-class center back, which he hasn't been thus far this season. And apart from that, what do you make of the Welbeck and Giroud starting? Giroud didn't play mid. He had a rough stretch last week against Stoke. Very critical of his performance. What do you make? What do you look for in Giroud and Welbeck this coming match?
I just want to see how they work together. Hopefully, we haven't played with two strikers for a while. I don't want to see them taking each other's space. Hopefully, they can work it well together in a sense that just positionally wise, knowing where to be. Obviously, I look to Giroud to hold up the ball more, and then Danny give us that threat to maybe get in behind the defense. Giroud, I think, is a player that really suits that 4-4-2 formation. If he has someone physically gifted alongside him, which Danny Welbeck is. So I think I think they'll have a good game today. I expect Giroud to bounce back. Obviously, he had a terrible performance against Stoke. Everyone was critical of that performance, and I think he'll really have a good game today.
I know just a little bit of little funny Twitter stuff coming from an Arsenal alumni. Ian Wright, tweeted about half an hour ago saying, "Really?" Exclamation point with a bunch of laughing emoticons. Followed that up 7 minutes later with a tweet saying, "My last tweet was nothing to do with the Arsenal bench." Mentioning how we mentioned how the Arsenal bench is, short in quality. But looking at the injuries we got Aaron Rams, who just pulled up with a hamstring injury, Lauren Koscielny, Nacho Monreal, Thomas Rosicky, Mikel Arteta, Jack Wilshere, Theo Walcott, and Mesut Ozil. Arsenal have had a poor stretch of games, apart from the Galatasaray match. They've had a poor stretch of results. And, fans, we get kind of annoyed by the injury excuse, and other people all around the world, get annoyed by Arsenal fans using the injury excuse. But with the quality that's missing from the squad, it's got to be brought up that, we're just unlucky at this point in time.
Yeah, but with all due respect, man, we still have enough quality in that team.
Of course, yeah.
Alexis Sanchez is a world-class player. Per Mertesacker is a German international with over 100 caps. Kieran Gibbs, England international. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, England international. Santi Cazorla played for Spain many times. We have enough quality in the squad. I know we don't have as much quality as we'd like with all the injuries, obviously, but the lack of quality I don't think is an excuse. There is still enough quality to go out there and win it. And what's really going to set as far as that work rate, I believe the Arsenal players are going to be energized playing at home for the first time in a little while. The crowd going to get behind them. I want to see that work rate. Stoke completely outworked us. Newcastle can't be the same this week.
And are you little disappointed that we don't get to see Lucas Podolski in the starting lineup after the top performance he put in midweek against Galatasaray with 2 fantastic goals?
Well, was it really a top performance, Moran?
He brought the goals, and that's something we've been missing.
I know he got a goal early in the match, and he got a goal late in the match, but there wasn't much in between. I know he's a deadly finisher, but very rarely does he get himself in those positions to finish. Obviously, he did midweek. And you know what? He is our first option off the bench, I think, going forward. So if we need a goal, we need one person to take a shot, we give it to Lucas Podolski, we bring him off the bench. I'd probably rather see, especially with Giroud and Welbeck playing already, Moran, putting Podolski in there, I don't think that has enough balance. I'd rather see Santi on the left there.
Oh no, but you mentioned both of them, but they maybe take off Giroud or Welbeck to include Podolski. That's what I meant. Not trying to include all 3 of them. But regardless, you mentioned how Podolski, he's never really in those positions to score very often. But when you have players with creativity such as Sanchez and Cazorla, don't you think that they can put him in those positions to succeed?
Oh, for sure. But just with Podolski, it's always the consistency. You never know what you're going to get. Obviously, the match midweek, you got 2 goals. It's pretty good. You'll take that most days than not. But then again, there's been a ton of Lucas Podolski moments where you just hang your head and say, why did he play today? Like, he has done nothing. It's the same argument we could say. It's parallels with Nacho Monreal. Some days it's good, some days it's bad, and that's what's with Lucas Podolski, in my opinion.
And real quick, we're just going to go to the Newcastle lineup. We're going to go, they have the backup, or, not a first-choice keeper, and Alnwick. He played last week against Chelsea. He came on as a sub. He did quite well, apart from a little, sloppy goal he conceded, but he did very well in denying Chelsea a chance at gaining a point. Then they have Janmat, Williamson, Colaccini, Dummett to complete their back 4. A midfield 3 of Tiote, Colback, and I'm guessing, Gouffran, and then a front 3 of Ayoze, Perez, Shola Amiobi, or Sammy Amiobi, I'm not too sure, and Papi Cisse. Who's the one player you got your eye on to start the match for Newcastle that's possibly a threat?
He's a very inconsistent player, but Papi Cisse. if he's on, like if he's having a good game, he can be a good player. But once again, he's one of those players like Lucas Podolski. You don't know what you're gonna get. If he's having a good day, he's a player that Arsenal definitely need to look for. What about you, Marin?
I'm gonna go. This might sound a little. I'm gonna put two players. I'm gonna cheat this question a little bit. I'm gonna say Tiate just because of the sheer power he brings to that squad. He damaged us. If all Arsenal fans remember that 4-4 draw, where he just had a screamer. But also Jack Colback. I think I saw last week's match against Chelsea. I think he was fantastic. I think he's really come of his own lately in the form that Newcastle has shown lately. I think he's a player that's threatening from this Newcastle squad that could maybe, if Newcastle are looking to get a point or three, he's going to be very influential in doing that. Last but foremost, match prediction, Jack. What do you see?
3-1 to the Arsenal. That's what I'm gonna go for.
3-1 to the Arsenal. This is a match that Arsenal have really. It's been really in their favor the past 3 seasons. They've won 2-1.
They've won 6 straight.
7. They've won 7. We all remember that 7-3, that Saturday afternoon match, and then they won 3-0 last year. So this is a squad. This is an Arsenal team that really possibly has Newcastle's number. I'm gonna go 2-0 to the Arsenal. I'm gonna say Welbeck. Actually, I'll say Giroud. Despite all the hate I give to Giroud, I think it's time for Giroud to really shut me up. I'm going to say Giroud and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Thank you for watching the pre-match Oh, Jack, you want to say something? Sorry?
No, I'm good. I'm all good, Moran.
Jack trying to ruin my conclusion to this pre-match hangout, but it's all good. Thank you for watching the Arsenal Fan TV pre-match Arsenal versus Newcastle hangout provided by the Global Gooners. We'll be back for halftime and full-time hangouts. Be sure to leave your thoughts, and we'll be sure to put out on the show later on. Thank you.
Fantastic conclusion, Moran. Fantastic.
Come on, Arsenal.
Up the Arsenal.